Does starting over mean you're a failure? Does it mean everything you've done was a waste of time? I have been constantly thinking about this idea of starting over, especially because I myself am going to be starting over pretty soon. You see, in a couple of years, I'm going to be moving to an entirely new city after living in the same hometown for pretty much my entire life. And while I do sort of romanticize it, like, starting anew, getting a new life, part of me is a bit scared. I'm scared of, moving to this new city because I feel like everything that I have currently in my hometown, it will mean nothing. All of the friends I made, all of the memories I made, pretty much everything that I've associated with this hometown, I fear that they're gonna end up just being a whole waste of time. And you know what this reminds me of actually? Like when I was thinking of the topic of starting over, I thought about people who would relate to it, and what crossed my mind were people in relationships. I'm sure I don't have to explain it, but some people are scared of, per se, finding someone new when they feel like they're not gonna find anyone else, and they feel like they're better off just staying where they are with their partner, even like despite how their partner is treating them. And that's sort of the position that I am currently in. But instead of a significant other, it's a place, an area. And these fears make me think, oh, should I just not move? Should I just stay where I am? Because I should be grateful for what I have, okay? Like, I haven't exactly been completely honest with you because between you and me, I'm not living exactly the best life that I am right now. I'm not exactly living the life that I want in this current city. That's one of the main reasons why I romanticize starting over. But what if instead of, having a few friends and just having a lot of places and stuff, what if I have none of that where I move? What if I end up even like lonelier than where I'm at right now? And I apologize for like the tangents and the rambling in this video. I'm just speaking my mind here. But basically what I'm saying is, what if I start over and I end up worse where I am? Because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is more guaranteed than what I already have. And what if staying here is already the worst version of my life? I'm gonna let that sink in. What if I just end up worse, right? Or what if I'm already at my worst part of my life? And what if starting over is exactly what I need? And speaking of which, I think there's a very common misconception that a lot of people get with the idea of starting over. Okay, they believe that starting over equals failure. What I mentioned previously in the intro, right? Does starting over mean you're a failure? Doesn't mean that everything that you've done was a waste of time. And if you want my opinion on that, I don't think it is. I don't think you're a failure because of it. I don't think it means any of that. Because like let me put it into perspective, right? A perspective that I feel like you'll understand better than I can. Imagine you're someone who recently lost all of their progress on a video game. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Because the game got corrupt. And you're pretty upset about this because this game is something that you really love. Okay, you spend hours on this game every single day. It's all you ever really care about when it comes to gaming. And now all of the progress, all of the memories, all the memorabilia that you have, they're all gone. And that begs the question, well, should you quit? Was all the time that you spent on that first save file a waste of time? No. I think maybe it's a good thing that it got corrupted because, anyone's first attempts at anything is gonna be bad, alright? Your first relationship is gonna be messy. And if you're lucky, then that person will stay with you, but it will always be messy. The same way that your first playthrough is gonna be messy, and it won't be perfect, and you're gonna have a lot of, like, missed opportunities that you could have gotten in the early game. You could have gotten, like, less of a rough start. So, when you're forced to start over, you gotta think about the positives of it. But, like, that first save file was not a waste of time. Because you learned so many things. You've You've had to like restart multiple times. You've had to learn a lot of things the hard way. And the thing is that people tend to mistake starting over as a complete restart. Like, you're going straight to where you were a couple of years ago when you were at phase 0. And that is not true at all. That is not true because you are on day 1 with day like 1,000 experience. Like the I think a prime example, I think another prime example of the meaning of starting over is speedrunners. Okay, they've had to restart the game multiple times before they got it perfectly, because starting over isn't a restart. You already grew, so don't feel ashamed of yourself for starting over. And you can be scared. Okay, you can be, in my case, scared of going to a new city and feeling like it will be just a clean reset and you're not gonna grow at all. You're not gonna get better memories. In fact, you'll probably end up worse. It's okay to be scared of that, but maybe not knowing is the best part, if that makes any sense. But what you do know is the experience that you gained. What you do know is the experience that you gained, alright? Because it is never too late to be what you might have been, alright? Starting over isn't erasing the past. It's growing a better future from it, alright? So whatever it may be, like, say for example, you got injured in a workout routine a couple of months ago and you have to start over after losing all your strength. Having to restart doesn't mean that it's over. Okay, it's not too late to grow the physique that you could have been. It's not too late just because you spent like 5 years with this one person and they ended up being a total asshole. Just because that happened doesn't mean that you'll never find love again. You will. Whatever endeavor it may be, whatever thing that you're scared of starting over, it is never too late. And I'm gonna say this again. It is never too late to be what you might have been. I want to thank you guys for sticking to the ends, and before I end off this video, like, I've actually been wondering something when it comes to making these videos. Am I providing value? Is what I say meaningful to you? And you can leave a comment on that. Okay, please do, because there's nothing more that I want to do than to, you know, provide my best videos that I could possibly make for you. I want these videos to add value to your day, alright? So, with that out of the way, that's enough of my yap session for now. As always, thank you guys, and I will see you all later.